Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Legends Never Die podcast. This is your host, Hunter Frugé, alongside co-host Matt. We have Frank and Wesley on the computer, audio and video now. Yes, you heard right. We're now testing video for the first time on the show, so be prepared for a lot of new content, new highlight clips, video clips of the games, stats, standings, everything pulling up on the screen here soon within the next few weeks. And we'll jump right into the show. We had a lot go on this past weekend. NFL Week 2, review, preview. We had a lot of major injuries. College football this week. We have a lot of huge rivalry games coming up. Conference games that could be very potential to college football playoffs. And UFC and baseball news. There's only 12 days left of the baseball season until playoffs, so a lot to cover today. What you want to start with, some NFL?
Yeah, let's get on that Brees injury. Out 6 weeks with the thumb surgery. Big Ben out for the year. I think it's Tommy John. They say just elbow. They didn't specifically say.
I would not be surprised if Roethlisberger never plays another snap of football.
He said he's coming back.
He said he is?
I mean,
he
sounded pretty optimistic. I wouldn't if I was him.
I wouldn't either. I'd hang it up. You lost your two best position players. You're not going to win. Your defense isn't elite like old teams that carried him. They don't have a chance. But, yeah, you had them two injuries. Who else did we have this week?
We had Cam Newton with the foot. He's still in a walking boot from the Thursday night game, looking like he's a scratch for Sunday. Kyle Allen looked to be the starter, whoever that guy is.
And the most important injury of all, even more detrimental to their team than Brees, is Sam Darnold.
Mono.
Somebody tell me what this man is doing. He has mono. He's been kissing hookers or something. Some viewer, please feed us some info. TMZ, come out with an article. How did Sam Darnold get mono, and why is he out 5 to 6 weeks? I want to know. These are things I want to know. We'll jump right into a review of the NFL last week. We'll quickly go through the games, give a little intake on each game. First game, we had Thursday Night Football, Tampa Bay versus Carolina. We expected a Carolina victory, but Tampa Bay came out and played ball. Cam Newton looked absolutely terrible. And I'll be the first to say, I think it might be time that Panthers start looking for a real quarterback.
I don't know. I think
NFL
Cam
MVP in 2015. Juice. He was NFL MVP 4 years ago. Look at him now. He's not even a top 20 quarterback in the league.
He's got a little bit of juice left in him. I don't know.
Juice in you is when you were a playoff quarterback. He is nowhere near a playoff quarterback. 0-2 now to start the season. Panthers are done. Write them off.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty upset because Christian McCaffrey, after scoring 46 fantasy points last week, leading me to the big dub, got my team smoked this week by only scoring 9 points. Terrible fantasy outing from who a lot of people claim, including Dustin on the show last week, is the number one fantasy player this week. Are you concerned about McCaffrey or no?
No, he's going to keep getting the volume, but what I want to talk about is the Bucs. I like the defense. Arians and Todd Bowles reuniting, adding a lot of key players draft free agency, being able to shut McCaffrey down, the player that he is. That, and in Tampa, Godwin, the number one by far. Evans, clearly the number two. Jameis' favorite target's Godwin. If you got him in fantasy that late, that's a steal, really.
And another reason I'm upset is because I took Mike Evans 3rd round in both of my fantasy leagues.
I got Mike Evans, too.
I figured 3 1,500-yard seasons in a row, he would show up and do his thing no matter what the quarterback plays like. I know Jameis is no great hero QB, but come on, he's all right.
Well, usually they were losing every game, so they had to sling it to keep up.
All right, so we'll move into the next game. Good game by Buccaneers. They're trending up. Carolina trending down. They don't look very good at all right now. Cam Newton injured, like you had said. Has a little something going on with his throwing, like always. Doesn't look good to me. So I'd stay away from any Carolina players in fantasy, potentially.
Except McCaffrey.
Yeah, except McCaffrey,
DJ
obviously.
Moore,
but I'm talking about waiver wire-wise. I also have DJ Moore on my team, so I can agree. Next game up, we had 49ers and Bengals, 41-17 victory for the Niners. I didn't watch this game. You got any insight on it? It looks like 49ers obviously played well.
Well, I know that if you lost Brees or Roethlisberger this week to injury, Andy Dalton looked to target him on the waiver wire. They've been slinging it, no run game. Mixon hurt. Gio Bernard is whatever.
That's good advice there for fantasy users because I was going to ask it later on in the show. I only have one quarterback on my roster in one of my leagues, and it's Drew Brees. He's out, so I was going to ask who you recommend to pick up. You said Andy Dalton. You got any other plays on that?
Josh Allen or Jimmy G.
Josh Allen, Jimmy G. So I imagine Jimmy G played well this week if they scored 41 points.
Yeah, he balled. Bengals defense isn't great, let's be honest. Deebo Samuel showed out. Kittle didn't do really much. The run game really for San Fran is what's carrying him at this point.
Yeah, I agree. And you got some San Francisco waiver wires I saw.
Yeah, I picked up Deebo Samuel this week.
Deebo Samuel, solid. He's the wide receiver rookie out of where, South Carolina?
South Carolina, yeah.
Yeah, he was huge in college. He's great now. And then I think you also had Mozart on a pickup. Is that how you say his name?
Mostert, something like that.
Yeah.
In a deeper league, you might need him to fulfill a bench spot while Tevin Coleman's hurt, maybe.
Well, I may need him if everybody on my team keeps getting hurt. I'm going to name my team to injury reserve. Just change up my whole luck, maybe. Next game, we had Chargers-Lions. This was a very underperforming game. No expectations were met, really. Lions 13-10 victory over the Chargers. I expected Chargers to go in and easily win this game, put up 20-plus points, at least, maybe 25. And they showed up and dropped a 10-burger in an L at Detroit. Come on now, Chargers. What was going on here?
Well, they should have won. They just couldn't make any kicks. Overall, I thought the game was boring. Kerryon Johnson, I don't know why he's not exact. He caught a 36-yard touchdown, but that's really it for his fantasy day. I don't know. He's just not really. I don't know. He's not. He's running the ball good. It's just they're not going anywhere. They did cut C.J. Anderson. Let's see. Hawkinson did nothing this week for fantasy.
He didn't. See, I had, of all people, I started D-Jax this week in the Philly versus Atlanta.
He gets
what
hurt
I
in
expected
the
to be a
first
shootout. He put up 0 fantasy points. Drew Brees also put up 0 fantasy points because of the injury, and I lose by less than 25 points. So, obviously, a good day for McCaffrey. Brees just playing, and D-Jax having a couple catches. I would have easily won and been on my way to 2-0 in a Super Bowl, right?
2-0 to the Super Bowl? No.
But that game overall, that Chargers game, it was very weak from what I'd seen. I definitely didn't watch much of it. A more exciting game was Green Bay, Minnesota. Green Bay with the victory at home. I think we split on that game pick last week.
I took Minnesota.
Yeah, you took Minnesota. I took Daddy Rodgers and the Packers. They jumped up quick 21-0. Minnesota fought back 16 points. Dalvin Cook, the running back, did excellent. Have him on my fantasy team. He showed up once again, but what happened there?
Dude, Kirk Cousins can't protect the ball. 2 picks, multiple fumbles. He fumbled a lot last week too. I don't know. He's not feeling the blindside pressure, really. They keep hitting him. The run game, eventually, teams are going to know how to stop it. It's just, I mean,
they're going to
the
stack
NFL,
the box.
yeah.
It's that simple.
You get enough footage on it, you're going to stop it.
So that game was pretty good. Good division rivalry there in the NFC North. A lot of playoff implications, although it's this early in the season. Next game that could also have some playoff implications is the Colts beating the Titans 19-17. Surprisingly, the Colts are winning, like y'all said. They barely lost to the Chargers last week in L.A. I don't know if I'm buying the hype on the Colts, but that division's going to be a solid 8-8 team making the playoffs. So Tell me why. Tell me why the Colts won this game.
Well, the run game carried them throughout the game. Defense really shut Tennessee down, which is not surprising. Mariota's still their quarterback, so keep expecting Tennessee to be lackluster on the offensive side. But Brissett is taking care of the ball, and they're running the ball. That's really it, behind a beefy O-line.
Best O-lineman in the league, Austin Nelson. Shit, I believe so.
He might be the best O-lineman, but the best O-line is Dallas. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah. All right, next game up, that Colts-Titans game, it was all right, but this game here, best game of the week, action-packed shootout. We had Patriots beat Miami 43-0.
Dude,
you heard me right. Dolphins got beat last week by 59 points. This week, they got beat by 43 points.
It's the
They're
worst team.
0-2, and their plus-minus is minus 110 points through their first 2 games of the season. Worst ever in history by a country mile.
I think they
Miami,
are
terrible.
the worst team I've seen in, like, a long time. I even think the Browns were better when they went 0-16.
Are they tanking already? They have to be.
I mean,
they're
they just
trading
have
away
no
everyone
talent.
on their team.
I mean,
They traded Saints, Alonzo.
Dude.
They traded Tunzel to the Texans. Kenny Stills over to
But
the
check this
Texans.
out.
Just traded Minka Fitzpatrick. Big news.
They
First
got-
round pick out of Alabama over to Steelers.
They got 3 first-round picks next year.
Yeah, but what are they going to do with them? We'll see what Raiders do
I
with 3
mean,
first round picks this year and a
the
better
Raiders are
quarterback,
not
and
bad.
we'll judge Miami off that. We'll judge Miami off
Okay.
what the Raiders do this year. Let's not jump the gun. But what do you have on the Patriots? I know a lot of news. Antonio Brown's first game, obviously. Glad to have him back on my fantasy team. Welcome back, Antonio Brown. Or should I say the not guilty Antonio Brown?
Who
New
knows?
allegations have popped up.
Yeah, who knows about all that? But, I mean, what do you expect? It's Tom Brady throwing in Antonio Brown. Easy pitch and catch. No, it was simple routes. Hey, Antonio, go run it out. Post, slant. All right, I'm going to fade it. Ball's going to be there, perfect on the money every time. I mean, what more can you expect? But the Patriots defense, 3 points allowed through 2 weeks. And check this out. I picked them up. We have a new waiver wire. You know how they go through on Sunday morning?
Mm-hmm.
Picked them up an hour before game time.
Oh, yeah.
Started
Stream
'em.
fantasy advice to our fantasy viewers. If you're like many of you who do not pick a defense in the draft and you stream, obviously the safe play is to just stream whoever is playing Miami every freaking week. Right?
If you can.
If you can, yeah. If somebody
the-
else don't use their
or
first
the
waiver
Jets.
wire pickup to get them.
Or the Jets for right now until Darnold comes back.
So in sports betting news this week, for the first time in history, we have 2 teams that are a 20-point underdog. Did you see that?
The
Patriots, Jets,
Yeah.
Cowboys, Miami. 23-point spreads. Highest I've ever seen in my life for NFL. Crazy.
I mean, think about it. It's easily it's almost a given at this point. I'd say even more than that.
All right, next game up, we had Bills-Giants. A lot of news with the Giants, but we'll start with this game in particular. We had the Bills absolutely destroy them, 28-14. Eli Manning looked trash at all as always, and that led to a big move.
I wouldn't say he looked trash. The first quarter, he was 1 for 7, but after that, he did solid. What do you expect? Who's he throwing the ball to? Name one of his receivers. Don't worry, I'll wait.
Yeah, but still, I'll tell you something else.
Besides
Why he's
Evan
trash.
Ingram and Saquon
They
Barkley,
have started.
who
They have started the season and missed the playoffs 5 of the last 6 years.
Well, yeah,
0-2.
garbage.
Yeah, 0-2 to start the season. Eli's a slow starter, and in the NFC East, you cannot start slow when you have Dallas and Philly in your division. It was time for a change, and Giants made the change. Switching over to the 6th overall pick out of Duke.
I like it.
I like
the
it too.
change.
DJ, Daniel Jones. Let's see what the kid got. He looked great in preseason. I think he was 29 of 34 passing. Granted, it's preseason. He's about to play with the big boys. He's getting thrown under the bus this week for his debut, but we'll get to that in the preview for this week in a minute. But you say you like Jones. I like him as well. I think he could turn around
Because I
the
got
franchise.
Barkley. I think Barkley will catch the ball more, and I think Jones will be able to push the ball more down the field. Eli, I don't know. It's just short throws, short throws, which if they're going to stack the box, they can defend the short throws. If you can't beat them deep, you can't run the ball.
What did Bills do, in your opinion, to win this game?
Bills have a good defense, and I mean Josh Allen is a budding second-year quarterback, I'd say.
And they played the Giants.
Yeah, and it was the
That-
Giants. Let's be honest.
That helps. That'll move us into our next game. We had Steelers versus Seahawks. I figured Steelers picked up the win here and split 1-1 to begin the season. And same for Seahawks. I figured they'd split 1-1. But Steelers, of course, the big injury to Big Ben Roethlisberger. He's out for the season now, expected.
Yeah, but let me stop you there. I honestly think, in my opinion, that the Steelers moved the ball better after Big Ben went out.
Really?
I think so.
So you think Rudolph's the future for Pittsburgh?
I wouldn't say he specifically is the future, but
Well, who else do they have at this point? They traded
Unless-
Dobbs.
unless Big
Cut
Ben was
Landry.
already hurt prior. If he was playing hurt, then okay. Then that would explain for the lack of just
Performance,
Yeah.
period. They look like shit. They scored 3 points on
their
Monday Night Football.
secondary's garbage.
That's why they traded for Fitzpatrick.
He's not the answer. I can guarantee you that.
Well, he is an answer. He's an Alabama SEC-bred defensive back in his second year. Give the man some credit. He's going to be solid, and I don't want to upset all the Roll Tide fan viewers.
He wanted out of Miami because they had him playing at the position he didn't like. He wants to play safety, but they're going to have him playing cornerback, and he doesn't want to play that.
So no waiver fantasy advice on Seattle or Pittsburgh. If you got their good players,
DK Metcalf, go grab him. If he wasn't
if
drafted,
he's available,
yeah, go grab Metcalf.
Go grab Metcalf, big target for Seattle, a freak beast at the combine. Everybody knows the story on Metcalf if you follow the show. Next game, we had Matt's Cowboys versus the Redskins. Your boys showed up, won me some moolah.
Yeah, me too.
Them boys, 31-21 victory at Washington. How'd it go? What'd they do right? I know they were clicking out there.
It was the Redskins, but, Zeke had over 100. Dak had almost 300. The offense really can't be stopped. Gallup going down for 2 to 4 weeks with a meniscus tear. He had surgery.
Okay, so if you have Gallup, do you drop him or leave him on your bench?
I'm stashing him, definitely.
What about trade bait?
No, I'm
Think he's worth anything?
No, I'm keeping him.
I got him. You want
him? No.
Let's make a deal right here on the show.
Not right now.
I'll trade you. Who's your best player? No, I'm messing with you. But yeah, Cowboys showed up. Nothing much more to say here besides Dak Prescott balled out for the second week in a row. Zeke really got going on the ground. Defense looked good, and Redskins suck. I know you got your guy on the waiver wires for the Redskins. You and Dustin both are high on. Give the viewers his name.
Terry McLaurin.
McLaurin,
the number one wide receiver in Washington. Did you see AP?
And he's out of where? Ohio State?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You seen AP past Jim Brown for touchdowns?
I got him on my squad. Got to have Adrian Peterson.
No.
Dude, if my fantasy team was in 2010, I would win the league. I got Adrian Peterson, Drew Brees, Greg Olsen. I got all the OG fantasy stars. Mike Evans, he wasn't that old, but yeah, that game kind of weak. Not much going there. Next game, similar. Ravens, Cardinals. I think Cardinals really elevated their game this week. Kyler Murray looked like a more complete quarterback versus a good defense, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm going to let the kid have his growing pains. He played good against a very stout Baltimore team and a team that I have in my top 5 power rankings right now. But Baltimore ultimately, 23-17, got the win behind another good performance by Lamar Jackson. Unfortunately, I missed out on the waiver wire we gave the viewers last week. Mark Andrews, the tight end out of Baltimore, if he's somehow still available in your league, you better go pick him up. Well, what'd you think on this game? How'd Baltimore look? How'd Arizona look? What'd you like?
Baltimore, I'd have to agree with the top 5 power ranking. I think they're a powerhouse right now. Lamar Jackson is playing unreal. He had one of the only quarterbacks ever, 250 passing yards, 120 rushing yards.
This past week, he had 120 rushing yards?
Yeah, led their team easily.
How'd Ingram do in week 2? I missed this game.
He did all right.
Yeah, that's how he was with the Saints always. That's why I don't think they're going to really miss him a whole lot.
He's going to have his games, though. He's going to have his games where they're up
multiple touchdowns,
super big,
30 carries.
But for the Cardinals, the air raid is effective to a fault. You got to be able to run the ball in the NFL, or you have
David Johnson. If they can draft a couple solid O-linemen or trade for a couple solid O-linemen with David Johnson and Murray and those receivers, they could be potentially a good team.
Fitz ain't going to be around forever, but
he's
look at how he's
gone.
playing. He's playing like he just got drafted last year.
It's his work ethic, man. He's always been that guy. Larry Fitzgerald, he's a beast. Next game we'll move into AFC Divisional South matchup. We knew it was going to be a good game, but we expected Texans to win a little heavier. Ultimately, it was 13-12. I thought Texans were easily going to get this dub. You said what? Close game?
We were making the picks. I said I don't know. It's going to be a tight one. Jacksonville with the O-line or with the D-line. Houston with the O-line woes. But with Nick Foles being out, Jaguars, they moved the ball some. I think Nick Foles would still be better than Minshew, even though he is playing well. And then they go for the 2 at the end of the game, don't get it. Me personally wouldn't have called the run up the middle with Fournette. He'd been stopped all game. Minshew.
Yeah, weird play call. Went for 2 to win the game instead of tying it, pushing it to overtime.
No, I like the
with
call.
your borderline elite defense.
Go get the win. You got the rookie
quarterback.
If you can
get the win, go get the win.
I mean, that you
Well,
gotta
it's
take,
just
you
one of
gotta
those
take
things.
the chance. You definitely
Yeah.
gotta take the chance.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have played it safe on the road.
Nah, exactly. On the road, you don't want to go into overtime on the road.
I guess you're right there. That'll push us into our next game. Chiefs Raiders at the Raiders Stadium at the Black Hole.
Last game on dirt, by the way.
Yeah, last game on dirt. I took the Raiders to win this game as a joke on the show. I bet heavy on KC. KC goes out, performs well. 28-10, Mahomes has another good 4-touchdown showing.
4 touchdowns in the second quarter.
Yeah, in the second quarter. He's just known this season for making these explosive one-quarter performances. He might break the all-time touchdown record. I don't know. All I know is if you didn't take that sports bet we gave preseason on Mahomes to lead the league in touchdowns, wake up. This kid's great. Future Hall of Famer. But Raiders only putting up 10 points. The running back, Josh Jacobs, still looked good. Had about right at 100 rushing. No touchdown, though. Raiders, weak. Chiefs, amazing. Simple as that.
Yeah, I
for
think
me.
it's more Chiefs being just that good. Their defense still isn't elite by any means. Still has a lot of holes. But decent enough to hold teams off for sure with that electric offense. I mean, got to give it to Mahomes. Look at him. Another 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, dude.
So simple win for the Chiefs. That pushes us
Easy.
into another AFC West matchup. We had Denver, who doesn't look well, at home, Mile High Stadium, playing the Bears. We figured a good defensive game. I gave a play on the show last week. Take this over under anything. 40, 38, 36. 36 is about low as I'd ever seen. Final to the game, 16-14, game-winning field goal by Chicago's kicker. What I got out of this, or my kicker out of this whole thing, was what if Chicago had that kicker last year? Could they have won the Super Bowl?
They would have, I think.
With that elite defense?
Yeah, definitely.
Crazy take.
What's
What was your
crazy is
take on the game, though? 16-14, Bears.
Well, the whole game was really just boring until the end. The Bears had 8 seconds left. Fourth down. They throw the pass to get into field goal range. Dude, I swear on my life that they did not have 1 second left on the clock, dude. I could have swore that the game was over, but the Bears had 1 timeout, and they gave them the timeout with 1 second. It looked like he hit the ground with 1 second. The clock guy must have been on his shit, dude.
He must have had Bears spread.
Yeah, definitely.
Bears money line on the clock guy.
He definitely had that. Vegas made the call real quick for sure. Gave him the field goal. Of course they had to hit it against their old coach.
Good performance there at the end for the Bears versus their former coach. And we'll play a quick clip for all the viewers that are watching the video version of the show of the sequence of the game-winning video that you just described for the game-winning field goal. And we'll move into the last 3:25 game of the day. We had the Rams at home versus the Saints, the big NFC rematch. I told myself after the game I lost a lot of money on this game. I was very upset. Obviously, Drew Brees got hurt. I wanted to rip my hair out. I was very pissed, and I swore I wasn't going to talk about the game on the show today, so I'm going to let Matt handle this. All we need to know is Brees is out 6 weeks, RIP, and Saints playoff hopes are on the brink. They're on the edge. It's going to get scary. It's all going to depend on how good the NFC South performs while he's out. But it is only 6 weeks. We can win 2 or 3 games. We're going to be all right.
Bridgewater ain't winning 2 to 3 games. Let me tell you why. They're losing this week to Seattle. Their secondary's trash. Russell Wilson's going to carve them. They're definitely...
Is it at Seattle?
I don't care where it's at.
I don't know, man. The Dome's different. If it's in the Dome, Saints win
without
by
Brees,
field goal.
It's way different. Exactly.
Yeah, but still.
Let me tell you. Then the next week, 100% taking the L to the Cowboys. Duh.
Oh, I have to hear Cowboys fans bitch and talk shit about them beating the Saints 2 years in a row when they ain't won a damn Super Bowl since I've been alive.
Hey,
they ain't won a Super Bowl in 23 years,
that
bro.
Don't matter.
It matters.
No, it don't.
The rings matter, baby.
Exactly.
The rings matter.
And we got more than the Saints.
Yeah, but how many have you witnessed? It's not as cool if you didn't witness them.
Look, bro,
anybody can sit there and be like, that damn Michael Jordan was great. He wasn't great to me. I saw him when he played for the freaking Wizards at the end of his damn career. He wasn't great to me then. He was good. It's different. Y'all haven't won in 23 years. I'm sorry. I think Saints are going to be okay. What's your take on the game? I heard you say pre-show that you would like Saints to get Jalen Ramsey. That's big news. We'll talk about him in a second.
I wouldn't like him to go there, but they need him bad. P.J. Williams, trash. Eli
P.J.
Apple,
Williams,
trash.
I've said it over and over again.
Terrible.
I do not know how this man is on an NFL roster. Much less a
Constantly
practice.
picked on by the
Listen,
other team.
much less a practice squad.
Damn.
Much less a starter for the New Orleans Saints. One of the best franchises in the NFL. A starter. This man is garbage. Hold an open tryout for someone to take P.J. Williams' spot. Please. That's all I ask. Continue.
Really, though. He is constantly picked on by the other team. But back to the game. I think the Rams still would have won if Brees was there the whole game.
I don't think so, dude.
Come on. The defense could,
I don't
could
think
not,
so.
Dude, the defense could stop
I
us in
don't
the
think so
backyard,
at
son. Let's
all, dude.
be honest.
I don't
The
think
defense
so
is
at
bad.
all. That
Defense is
fumble
bad.
6 goes the other way.
I'll
And
give
we're
you
looking,
that.
dude, we're looking at a whole new game, even with Bridgewater potentially winning this game. A team obviously plays a lot different when they're up 7 and they just got a fumble for 6, or they're freaking down a 14-point swing now
I'll give you that.
because the fumble gets overturned. It was just a bullshit call, like always. I think the NFL's out there headhunting the Saints. I don't know what beef they have with Gail Benson. Maybe she's the only woman owner in the NFL, so they're out to get her or something. I don't know, just a little conspiracy. But I do know one damn
Just a
thing.
little
The
conspiracy.
Saints and Roger Goodell do not like New Orleans. It's a fact, and I'm upset about it.
I see what you did there.
I'm upset. It's fake news. May or may not be. Very upset. Let's continue. Sunday night game. We had what we
Sunday
thought was going to
night
be a
game.
fire shootout. Still an amazing game. Action-packed. We had Carson Wentz and the Eagles took a L, surprisingly, to the Falcons. I believe the game score is 24-20. I didn't get to watch much of the game. I was busy Sunday evening, but I know you watched it, and your fantasy team revolved around it. So give us a quick
yeah.
take.
Down by 30, about 30 points going into the game. I got Julio left. First quarter, nothing. Second quarter, he does all right. Third quarter, catches a touchdown. Then at the end of the game, to seal it, catches the 54-yard touchdown. I went and checked my score, won by .16. If it would have been 1 yard less
One
than
yard.
what he caught.
Matt
Then I
won
would've
fantasy
lost.
this week by 1 yard, people. Just
Yeah.
1 yard. 3 feet.
Crazy.
3 feet. 36
Because
inches.
he got his 100. In our league, we have a 100-yard bonus. So he got the 100-yard bonus, the point for the catch, the yards, the touchdown.
He
.1.
won by 1 yard or 1 catch this week.
No,
That's crazy.
And
1
yard.
Yeah, and
Oh,
we'll throw a
one catch.
clip. We'll throw a clip up of the Julio Jones
Even
54-yard
though
touchdown catch for the viewers to see.
Potential block in the back, maybe.
I don't know.
They could have threw the flag if they were really looking.
This is my
But hey,
take
they
on it.
didn't,
This is
and I
my
won.
take on it. It's Jet Jones.
Yeah,
Julio Jet Jones.
yeah. They talked
No
about it.
no one was catching him.
He said he had a reputation to uphold, that he couldn't let him get caught.
Burned
Yeah.
them. Sick. Catch the video on the video show. So for iPod, iTunes listeners, y'all better go check out the video version of the show on YouTube because this catch, insane. Next game, Monday Night Football, Browns,
Whatever.
Jets. It was a solid game. Backup quarterback for the Jets. It was a solid game for Odell Beckham mainly. Another highlight we'll throw up on the screen. Odell's amazing
The
catch he
one-
made on the sideline. Snagged it with one hand. He just has a reputation of one-handed catches on Monday Night Football in MetLife Stadium. So we'll run that up, and we'll run the highlights of his 89-yard touchdown catch. He really got going this week, but Baker Mayfield still looked a little shaky to me. What'd you think of the game?
He missed Odell on some key throws. I know specifically one, Odell wide open over the middle. He had a touchdown, 100%. Missed him. Jarvis Landry not being Jarvis
A
Landry right
non-factor.
now. They did have Njoku just go down, broke his wrist. After he got laid out, he got flipped in the air, landed on broke his wrist. Chubb finally got the touchdown, looked good against the Jets. Stout run D, even with the injuries. I mean, Browns beat the Jets, whatever.
So that's it for the review of college or NFL football last week. One more highlight's going to be Dalvin Cook's, 84-yard rush.
I think it was 81.
We'll also throw that up on the screen when we were talking about that game. We'll put a lot of clips from now on in for our viewers to see some of the stats we're looking at for leaders in certain categories. All kinds of cool stuff like that. So like I said before, make sure you check out the video version of the show. And now we'll move over into this week's preview for NFL. Started off with tomorrow night's Thursday night game. Who we got?
The Titans and the Jags. Probably going to be a snooze fest, but give me the Titans. I like the Titans. Derrick Henry looked to run the ball a lot.
I like the Titans as well with all the drama going on right now with Jalen Ramsey and the Jags.
He's playing.
He's playing, but is he playing hard? There's a big difference between showing up to work and working your ass off.
If he says he wants to win as bad as he says he does, then he's playing
I don't know, man. I think he wants to win with another team. He don't want to win with the Jaguars.
They're not. The Patriots.
They're not going to win.
The Patriots.
If they send him to the Patriots, I'll boycott real quick, and I will not watch another NFL game this season. If Patriots acquire Jalen Ramsey, I'm done. It's over. I'm not playing no more. So me and you both go with the Titans. Then we'll move into the noon games, and we'll start with the first game, Dolphins versus Cowboys. I mentioned this game a little earlier. One of the highest spreads I've seen, 23.5. And Dallas covers. Give me the Cowboys at home at Jerry's World by 24. Taking Dallas all day. I'd be a fool not to.
Yeah, easily covering that spread, I think. And any Cowboys player on your team, fantasy-wise, start them.
All right, next game, we got even more of a snooze fest, I think, than that Jags-Titans Thursday nighter. We got the Bengals and the Bills. I think it's going to be
that's a sneaky good game. You're asleep on that.
Know.
Sneaky good.
Sneaky good game that I'll skip. I don't like the matchup for either team. I don't even know who I'd go with. I just don't think Bengals are starting 0-3 at home. So give me the Bengals for whatever reason. Who you got?
I'm taking the Bills simply on the fact that the Buffalo is one of the best defenses in the league, and the Bengals can not stop anybody.
Change my pick. Excuse me. I did not realize Buffalo was at home. Buffalo wins the game.
It didn't matter.
And Buffalo's a 6 on the spread. Home field matters a lot, especially for a 2-0 team like Buffalo. They might make the playoffs, dude.
Hey, did you hear
this
what
boy
you just
said? Sneaky good.
Did you hear what you just said?
2-0
Buffalo? What the hell?
Sounds like a freaking joke. They get rid of Shady McCoy and start freaking winning. All right, next game up, we got Broncos Packers at Lambeau. Give me discount double check all day long.
Mr. Rogers.
Aaron Rodgers going to blow them out the fucking water. Give me the Packers.
Give me the Packers, too. What's the spread? 8? I'm taking
7.5. Taking the teaser on a 1.5. Easy money. Packers 1.5 on the teaser. That's a money bag bet.
It was 8 a couple of days ago.
Next up, we got Falcons Colts. I think this could be your sneaky good game here. Semi-low scoring. I'd take an underplay on a 45. I'm not sure exactly what it is. But give me the Falcons winning this game. Building off a good win versus Philly, a high-class playoff team. Just recently a Super Bowl winner. Good win for the Falcons last week. They win again this week. Give me the Falcons over the Colts.
See, that's a tough one for me because I like the Colts a lot. But I think I'm going to have to take the Falcons. I think Julio is just going to keep it rolling. It's going to be too much. Ridley. Matt Ryan threw 3 interceptions last week.
And they still beat the Eagles.
Yeah,
and scored 24 points.
The Eagles are not what everybody thinks.
Trending down?
Yeah, they're injuries are causing them to trend down for sure.
All right, next game on the board. Game of the week, in my opinion. We have the Ravens at home versus the Chiefs. I'm kind of torn on this game, but I think the Mahomes train keeps rolling. Chiefs win this game in a shootout. I'm talking about over-under 55, 60. It's going high, and I'm taking Mahomes slinging it all over the place. Give me the Chiefs over the Ravens in this one.
I like the Chiefs too.
And this is very, very possibly a playoff matchup.
Definitely.
Potentially a playoff matchup. Definitely. So what do you think on it?
I think the Chiefs honestly dominate offensively. I mean, somebody's going to have to slow them down for me to even think that it's possible. I'm going to have to see it to believe it, definitely.
Yeah, Chiefs are looking good. Like we had mentioned, Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, everybody there. And, yeah, it's Chiefs easily in this game. Next game up, we got Raiders and Vikings. Vikings obviously starting out at a huge 9-point favorite. I like that play by 3 and a teaser as well. I think Vikings finally get it going at home. I think they get it rolling. Look for another big game out of Dalvin Cook against the Raiders run D. I'm taking Vikings, obviously, at home by 9. No, at home, yes. Give me the Vikings.
Yeah, I like the Vikings too. Like you said, Dalvin Cook going to have a huge day. I'm upset. I'm playing him in fantasy this week.
Ooh.
That's definitely going to hurt. I'm looking for a 30 burger out of him, honestly.
Expect a 30,
Yeah.
Expect the worst, and hope for the best. That's all you could do. And that's all that the Jets can do. Pray for a miracle. They're matched up in Foxborough against New England this week.
Blowout.
23-point spread. Give it to me. New England, back up the Brinks truck, and let's go. Give me the Patriots by 23 this week. Easy.
I think so. AB's playing, going to be dominating. They're probably going to be running the ball a lot second half. Start Sony Michel, definitely. I mean,
dude, I saw a picture today. I'm going to throw it up on the podcast page, so here, y'all go check it out. It's an awesome picture. We'll throw it up on the screen as well for the video. It was a picture of Georgia's running backs a couple years ago. Did you see it?
Yeah, it was.
There are 3 running
Gurley,
backs, Gurley, Chubb,
Michelle.
and Sony Michel.
They all scored a touchdown last week.
We're all 3 running backs for Georgia. Is Georgia RBU?
Definitely.
With Herschel Walker also one of the best ever?
Yeah.
Georgia produces the running backs, man. That's the South. Next game, we got Eagles at home versus the Lions, looking for a big bounce-back game. I'm going to take the Eagles in this one, but don't be surprised if it's close.
Dude, I don't know, man. I'm taking – where's the game at?
In Philly, 6.5,
all right, we'll give
Eagles.
me Detroit anyways.
So take Detroit money line. Matt saying could be a good play, 6.5 dog.
Dude.
Plus 12.5 on a teaser.
Okay, check it out. Eagles' number 1 wide receiver right now, Aguilar. D-Jack and Alshon Jeffrey hurt. Aguilar's going to be covered up by Slay. Who else is catching the ball? Ertz. All right, double cover them. They can't run the ball. They have not been able to run the ball at all. Wentz constantly taking hits, dude. It's ridiculous.
So that's obviously your upset of the week. Viewers, if you're looking for a good money line play,
Yeah, I mean, I
could
wouldn't
be
put
good.
money on it, but shit.
Could be a good play there. Detroit.
Don't
probably,
blame me.
Yeah, probably a plus 200. No, it's just a good money upset alert. I'll put a little money on it. You just made valid enough points to shift my opinion on that a little bit. But look forward to a good game out of Eagles Lions. I'm going Eagles. Matt's going Lions. Next up, I'm not really excited about this game, but I will go bold and say this. Kyler Murray gets his first true win at home versus Carolina. Panthers start the season 0-3, and they start looking at a new quarterback. I'm telling you, man, Cam Newton is not the answer if they lose at Arizona. Give me Arizona in this game.
I'm taking Arizona simply because I don't think Cam plays. Even if he did play, I still would think Arizona would win, to be honest.
So Arizona 2.5 on the spread. Both of us going with Arizona. Next up, another game I'm not too excited about aside from one reason. Daniel Jones getting thrown into the fire, starting this week for New York Giants, like we'd mentioned earlier, in a good tough road test in Tampa Bay versus the Buccaneers. This should be a good game to see what he's made of. And I really want to see Jameis Winston get on track. I don't like him as a player, but I like him as a fantasy owner of Mike Evans.
Definitely.
So let's see a high-scoring game, and let's see what the kid DJ got. Give me the Giants, him winning his NFL debut. It's only destiny. Come on
Hell
now.
No.
Come on
Tampa
now.
Bay is about to ring them boys out, son. Come on now. I think Evans, Godwin, they're both going to have monster days. Peyton Barber's going to run all over them. The Giants can't stop.
So you're talking about a Jameis Winston career day.
No, definitely not. I mean,
no, that'll
his
have
two
to come
receivers are
against New
definitely gonna
Orleans.
eat there.
That'll come against New Orleans one game this season, I'm sure.
I mean, easily their secondary's doo-doo.
So Matt's going Buccaneers. I'm going with DJ and the Giants in his first game. I want to see the kid do great. So let's see a win, Giants. Let's see what you got. And I need a conference loss, obviously. I need Buccaneers to lose this game as a Saints fan.
Yeah, you
with
really
hopes,
do.
With hopes of trying to make the playoffs and with also hopes of not having to shave my head live on the podcast if Saints go 8-8.
Dude, I forgot about that. That Brees injury, you're sweating that shit.
I'm sweating, but I'm still ice cold. We're all good. Ice in my veins, baby. Next game, Texans Chargers. Gonna be fire. I'm
Where's
torn.
the game?
in LA, but it don't matter. LA got like 1,000 fans and 1 million people. It don't make sense to me.
Yeah,
but anyways, give me Houston in this game. I don't know why. I just don't like the way Texans performed. Obviously, this week only scoring 10 against Detroit, and the prior week barely sweating out a victory over the Colts. So give me the upset here. I guess it'd be an upset. Not much on the spread of an upset. But Texans on the road, I'll take it. Texans over the Chargers.
I like the Texans too, I think. Until
I
I
think
think of Deshaun Watson getting chased all day by Bosa and the rest of that Chargers D-line. But I think I'm going to have to pick the Texans just simply because Deshaun Watson is that guy.
he is that guy. Give us both the Texans. Good play to +3.5, +9.5 on the teasers on the book for the Texans.
Dude, the 12-point teasers have been doing me right.
I haven't took any.
Get them at a +15. There's no way the Texans lose by 15. So.
You say that till Drew Brees breaks his hand and they lose to the Rams by 20 points this week.
That's freak. That's freak.
Yeah, freak my paybook, my checkbook. Freak
Hey.
that. I ain't even gonna say that F word. I definitely could. Off that game because we're gonna have to talk about them in a second. But next up, Steelers 49ers at San Fran. No Big Ben. This is a recipe for a monster performance by Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers. Give me 49ers. Not even going to blink an eye. 6.5. I'll take it all day long. 49ers win this easy at home.
49ers definitely going to win easy. But Steelers are going to move the ball. They're going to score points, but just not going to be able to keep up with the 49ers, obviously. I think Rudolph could have a decent game, definitely. Look for James Washington. They played together in college. They could have some chemistry,
Definitely have chemistry.
Definitely would go to him in a clutch situation.
But
Why
give you
not?
the
Start
49ers
him.
for sure.
Could maybe even start him as a flex if you got the stones.
Or if your team sucks like mine already.
Yeah, or if you're really hurting at wide receiver.
So Matt's going 49ers. 49ers for me, obviously. Next up, we have Seattle facing my New Orleans Saints. Obviously, the Brees injury plays a big role, and the game's at the 12th man in Seattle. Give me Seattle to win. Kills me to say it.
Damn,
Didn't think I'd
I
say
like
it.
it.
Didn't think I'd say it all year on the show because I'll obviously never go against Saints, LSU, Astros, etc. But I got to go against my New Orleans faithful, taking Seattle by 4.
I like that. Definitely like
Deep
that.
breath, sigh. The Saints go down this week. Drew Brees. I'm sad.
1-2.
I
Then
might-
they'll be
I might go
1-3.
cry. BRB, I'm going to cry. Very upset about this.
Give me the Seahawks though on that.
All right,
game.
no
Easy.
more on that game. Let's get off of it. I'm getting in my feels. Next game, Sunday night, we got Browns and Rams. I think this is going to be a damn good
Stop
game.
it, son.
I don't know, bro.
Dude,
I'm
get
telling
out
you,
there.
Baker Mayfield's going to warm up and feel dangerous eventually. Why not in a big matchup versus the Rams?
I guarantee
At home,
you.
at home, give me the Rams, but Cleveland's going to make it close.
What's the spread?
And it's going to be action.
What's the spread?
Rams by 3.
Yeah, exactly. Vegas is
Tripping?
No, they're plotting.
They're plotting. They're scheming.
They're
They're
plotting
scheming a
on
little
motherfuckers
Cleveland
for
upset. Sunday night, we've all lost hundreds of dollars.
Prime time.
Everybody's watching the primetime Sunday night game. Let's get the Cleveland Browns to beat the defending NFC champions,
But let me tell
LA
you,
Rams, and everybody loses hundreds of more dollars instead of winning all their money back. Sounds like a perfect Vegas scheme. So bettors, beware. But I'm still going with LA this week.
I'm taking the Rams too. I think it's going to be a blowout Rams.
So Rams in that game, that moves us into Monday night. Pretty weak game, if you ask me. Chicago, who hadn't looked good on offense, versus Redskins, who can't catch a break. Redskins at home, though, might give them the advantage there. But I'm still going Chicago with the defense in this game. Chicago 4's the spread. Give me the Bears. Give me the Bears.
I want to take the Redskins, to be honest, but I'm not. I'm gonna take the Bears simply because of the defense. I can't go against that.
So you're taking the Bears there. And that's our picks. That's it for NFL as of right now. If you have anything else to mention, say it now or forever hold your peace before we transition into college football. All right, last week, not really many super good matchups. UCF versus Stanford, weak.
Unranked Stanford.
Yeah,
who cares?
UCF finally beat a ranked team, blah, blah, blah. All the top teams won. LSU looked excellent with a 60-point or 50-point victory. Pardon me. Texas looked good, but there are
They played
two
nobodies, dude.
Yeah, they all played
Calm down.
nobodies, but they still perform well. Whatever. College football, boring week. This week, much more action-packed. We're finally getting into rivalry games. We're seeing top 10, top 15 teams playing each other again. I love it. It feels like football. We'll start the day at 11 a.m. in Madison, Wisconsin. We got Michigan Wolverines matching up against Wisconsin Badgers. I think it's going to be a fire-ass game. I'm really thinking Shea Patterson and the Wolverines are overhyped, and Wisconsin's about to run that ball down their throat. Give me James Taylor or Jonathan Taylor in Wisconsin, who is yet to allow a single point on defense this season.
Yeah, the defense is lethal.
Give me Wisconsin winning versus Michigan for the first time in a long time.
What's the spread on that game? Do you know?
That's Wisconsin 3.
Oh, yeah, Wisconsin by 3. Easy work. I like that. Definitely.
I like that play. I really like this game. Harbaugh goes down, and he might consider leaving Michigan if that's the case. Who knows? I'd like to see him go to the NFL, whatever.
To where?
Michigan, they're an elite program, and they're not going to win with it, man. They just can't get past Ohio State. They're not even going to get past Wisconsin this year, much less Justin Fields and Ohio State. I don't know. It's time to figure something out with that program. Big Ten's just getting way too good for them to be surviving. So I'm going definitely with Wisconsin in this game.
Yeah, me too.
Next game, we have Auburn at Texas A&M. This is an elite SEC showdown. Both teams, well, A&M's already lost to Clemson, but it's number 1 in the nation, Clemson. A&M ranked at number 17 at home at Kyle Field versus number 8 Auburn and the true freshman quarterback Nix. I just like the home field advantage, the coaching advantage by a little bitty bit by Texas A&M. Give me the Aggies at home by 3.5 for sure.
Yeah, like you said, I like the home field advantage, and I'm going to take the veteran quarterback over the true freshman simply because of the experience.
All right, next close game, top 10 game, however you want to call it, is going to be Oklahoma State, who's been on an absolute tear. They beat McNeese by 70 last week. You heard that right, McNeese. A joke. Playing UT, Texas Longhorns at home. Give me the Texas Longhorns by 6 for a max bet. Giving the viewers a max play, Texas Longhorns minus 6 versus OK State this weekend. What am I missing? Is there a major injury in this game or something that I'm missing?
No.
I didn't think so.
If Ellinger ain't out, then it don't matter.
Yeah. Give me UT by 6. I don't even think it's going to be that great of a game. I don't know why it's a minus 6 at home for Texas. Strange, but take a good play there. The last and best game of the week. You know who's playing?
No.
Top 10 showdown. I'm glad they scheduled
Georgia, Notre Dame.
Number 3 Georgia versus number 7 Notre Dame. Typically, I like to cheer for the SEC as a fan of Southern football and the way we just breed athletes down here. Different than anywhere else in the world. Disagree if you want. But usually I cheer for the home team, SEC, whatever, Georgia. Not in this case. For playoff implications, I need Georgia to lose to Notre Dame. Will it happen?
Why?
Absolutely fucking not. Give me Georgia smashing Notre Dame this week.
Wouldn't you want Georgia to beat Notre Dame for LSU?
Well, Notre Dame hadn't. LSU don't get to play Georgia.
They don't play Georgia this year?
Nope. We play them the next 3 years and the next 2 years. Nah.
Damn.
Guess who we play next year?
Who?
Georgia and Clemson in the regular season.
And Bama.
On top of Bama, Florida, A&M, Auburn. We play 5, 6, 7 top 10, top 15 teams.
That's how A&M is this year.
That's nuts. SEC is just different. Born different, bred different. Georgia, dogs. Literally. Georgia Bulldogs. Good pun there. But really, SEC all the way versus a no-conference independent team. Notre Dame, you made the college football playoff last year. You were a top 4 team in the nation, undefeated, and you embarrassed us. You were an embarrassment to the entire league. Give me Georgia in an absolute smoke show.
Yeah, Georgia, I think, literally is going to run the ball all over them all game. Fromm's going to do what he does. Georgia big, easy.
So that'll be it on college football, really. Not much going on this week besides those 4 games, but I'm just glad we're back into good conference matchups. We'll transition quickly out of college. We'll put a few college stats on from last week, though, of a few of the top plays. We'll throw together a short clip for the viewers, get y'all hyped for this week, maybe with one of the good games, a preview, and we'll move quickly into MLB. We only have 10 games remaining on the schedule. Astros today, you see me wearing the jersey, the World Series ring right now. Obviously, my squad will go to a playoff game here in a couple weeks. We'll all go to Houston for a game. Might bring the equipment, stay downtown or something, do a little show. Might be pretty tight. But anyways, we'll talk about that after the show. 10 games left in the season. Astros just became the first team to hit 100 wins this season. Match Yankees only 1 win behind at 99. Dodgers also at 99. I feel like it's those top 3 teams, and then there's everyone else.
Yeah, I think it's definitely Dodgers probably going to make it to the World Series for NL, and then Yankees, Astros fighting it out in the ALCS like it has been.
We got to go. Even if seats get sold out and we do the standing room and stand behind the Crawford box, like the AL Championship last year. You went with us, right?
Mm-mm.
I was Christian. Yeah, we went to Red Sox versus Astros ALCS last year. We got standing room tickets, dude. Awesome. Packed. Had so much fun. Stand wherever you want, wherever there's room.
Really?
Yeah. Anyways, it was awesome. MLB, that's all the news, really. Astros on fire, like we'd mentioned. That's the home team here. Garrett Cole became the 18th pitcher in NFL history with 300 strikeouts. Matt is a former pitcher in baseball. I'm sure you could appreciate that. That is a shitload of strikeouts, especially at that elite level. Insane.
Would you say he wins the Cy Young then?
He's got to. I don't care how many wins Verlander has. I don't care the stats of anybody else in the AL.
Yeah.
300 strikeouts is elite.
Well, duh.
That's elite. Only 18 times in history. But we'll throw up the MLB stats, show everybody what the wild card picture's looking like, because I don't exactly have it in my head. I've kind of fell shy on baseball until the playoffs, because I know Astros are in that thing, and I'm just ready for October. So we'll wrap it up there with MLB. A little quick UFC news. We'll start with the huge fight this past weekend in Canada. We had Cowboy Cerrone facing the up-and-coming Justin Gaethje. Incredible fight. Justin Gaethje with 3 straight knockouts. Went in there and did his thing. Cowboy coming off a tough loss versus Tony Ferguson. Had a quick turnaround on the fight and went in there with an absolute monster and got knocked the fuck out. Justin Gaethje, dude, I'm telling you, that kid got bricks for hands. We'll throw it up on the screen for everybody to view it. Absolute insane knockout. Gaethje top 5 already. He's getting either a title shot or McGregor. Feed that man the best there is, and he might just knock him out like he just did Cowboy Cerrone. This man is insane. He's just young, hungry, a beast. Like I said, we'll play a clip after the show. That was really it in big-time UFC news. We got the card coming up in 2 weeks, UFC 233 in Perth, Australia. We got the Beast, Robert Whittaker, and Stylebender fighting, headlining that card. A few good undercards, but that's still a few weeks away. We'll get way more in depth with that fight as the time comes, and we'll end it there, guys. Looking forward to another good week of fantasy. Anybody with any questions, email us. Any fantasy advice you need, anything, email or DM us, Facebook us, whatever, or just simply text us if you know us. All that information's available on our Facebook page or anywhere else at Legends Never Die Podcast. Y'all go like and subscribe on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Apple Podcast app, everywhere you can imagine at this point. iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spotify. We're on all platforms. Whatever you prefer, go check it out, and we'll see everyone next week.